And welcome back to the commentary for Mega Man 1. In case you guys can't tell by my geeking out, I like Mega Man. I haven't played the games in a long time though, so like I don't know, I like going back to them, but I just unfortunately with how many games I have in my and hey look, Dr. Wily's calling a taxi. I did not just steal that joke from Gemini Laser. I did just steal that joke from Gemini Laser. I'm sorry.
I'm not seeing how he's funny.
Well, he had an accent. The accent made it funny.
Racist.
Oh!
And by the way, that Ice Slasher does 0 damage against the majority of enemies. There's a few it does. It does, however, freeze them in place. So for these big guys, instead of fighting them, just fire off one of those when they do their big jump and walk past. So they're not too bad. And then we got the blocks here can be destroyed with one of two ways. You can either use Gutsman, or Electman's Beam does work as well. It's just if you use Electman's Beam, obviously you technically lose a weapon because you cannot use it for a Gutsman block. And Gutsman's weapon is very situational, as it can only be used if you have a Gutsman block. It is. If it wasn't for that fact, it would probably be a pretty decent weapon. But due to that fact, Gutsman's weapon happens to be one of the worst in the game. So, we have 2 bad weapons now, which is, you know, the Hyper Bomb as well as the Guts. Ice Slasher isn't really a weapon, but it does have its uses, as I've shown you. It can stop enemies, and then it stops this fire too, but I'm just really bad at aiming these fire shots. So this is going to take a second or two.
Yeah, it's all about the timing too.
Mm-hmm. And I think after this, because I do eventually have to... I think I tried this level 3 times legitimately for the boss. The level itself isn't hard. It's just the boss. Yeah. I don't know what happens if you run out of weapon energy here, because that didn't happen to me, but... I think you need weapon energy to get... Not quite.
Oh, nice.
Not quite. There we go. I obviously did not... And there we go again. I obviously did not run out of weapon energy, but... That's not exactly good programming. Most of the time, you're not going to be that bad about syncing it up. I was pretty bad. That being said, if you don't have any way to regenerate the ammo, that's not exactly great. So...
That was fast.
What was fast?
You killing all of the...
Electman's weapon is really good. It does a lot of damage, it fires across the screen, and I don't think most things stop it. I think there's an enemy or two that can stop it, but Electman's weapon happens to be good, as does Fireman's, so... Those are both probably one of... Mega Man 1 is not my favorite game in the series. I think the game is a good game, but flawed. That being said, Magnet Beam, Electman's weapon, and Fireman's weapon, I would not mind seeing again. And technically, we do see them again in a game called Mega Man: The Wily Wars, which only came out for a very obscure Sega Genesis add-on. Basically, you had to go online, which is really kind of surprising because, you know, this was the Sega Genesis. Not many people had online. But basically, it was a remake of Mega Man 1 through 3. With Sega Genesis graphics, and you also happen to have Wily. I can't remember. Maybe it was basically it was the Wily Wars Wily Tower, where you got to choose your weapons and your sub weapons. So as I said, eventually you get Rush from Mega Man 1 through 3, which was a really cool concept. So you could have 8 weapons chosen from any of the first 3 Mega Man games, and then 3 utilities also chosen from the first 3 Mega Man games, which was... I don't know why they've never done that again. It was really cool. And now we're on to my least favorite boss in the first Mega Man game. I really don't want to fight him. He's not fun. He's not easy.
This is the last boss, right?
No, not even close. We got a lot.
22 minutes left in the video.
And we got another video after this. Like, this is part 3 of 4. But no, basically, it's a little hard to dodge his attacks. Like, it's doable. People have done it without the glitch that I'm going to do. Like, there's... I'll explain the glitch here in a second. So when you fire... I'll explain the glitch when I get to when I use the glitch. I kind of am using it there. I'll explain it now. Basically, Elect Beam happens to be... when Mega Man 1 also had a glitch that was beneficial to the game. You fire Elect Beam and you just pause the game over and over again, but you have to do it at the exact right time. And then the Elect Beam will happen to hit the enemy multiple times. And that's how you easily kill the Yellow Devil without having to fight him with... Yeah, and then I got a game over. So, from this part, I believe we happen to go to ludicrous speed! Yep. So, just because I know James doesn't really like watching this over and over again. I could have cut it, but I figured there's some interesting commentary here places. But I'd at least save James somewhat of a headache, and I would speed it up.
I'm not complaining, am I?
No, you're not. I was just saying, I was thinking about you, that's all. I also like to hear music sped up to 400%. It happens to be interesting.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's not this one. It slows back down when we actually get to it. It'll be a little bit. So, how was your guys' day? Because I went to mass today. I know Iz did as well.
Kate.
Sorry, you're right. Sorry, Kate. Kate plus 8. I just have to get used to that. I'm used to calling you Iz for so long, even though I know your name is Kate. And I should be used to that because my wife's name is Katie, so...
Then
I mean, no.
You shouldn't call me Iz Guild Wars.
No, I'll call you Kate in Guild Wars from now on as well. Like, I'm trying to do the glitch, and you can see it partially working. I just didn't quite get it right there. So he kills me one more time. And then we get a game over, and I'm pretty sure... This is, like... We don't happen to kill him quite yet. I kept it at 400% speed up until we went into the boss doors, because we've already seen all the stage. We didn't need to see it again. So... Like... I try to do that if it happens to be the whole stage. If it's just a little bit of a section, I don't really see that big of a problem with happening to show that off, but... It's just... There's that glitch. There's that glitch. Where if the platform falls out from underneath you, you fall instantly, so... I think that was also combined with the, invincibility glitch at the same time, so we gotta see a wombo combo. 2 glitches at once. And, those energies obviously respawn whenever you leave the screen, so that's how you do that part. Then I think I die one more time and I get him after this. Like, he's a little hard to dodge, as you may be able to tell. Yep, there we go. Okay, Yellow Devil time. So yeah, I was honestly trying to fight using the glitch, but I didn't want to be stuck on this boss forever. So... I don't know if I get him this rotation or the second rotation, but I definitely do get him a rotation. Like, the other thing is, if we had the slide from Mega Man 3, it would be a lot easier as well, but we don't, so... Because you could slide under the ones that happen to be aiming at Mega Man's head, as opposed to just take it in Mega Man's head. So you have to wait until Mega Man's all the way teleported back in order, and then pause and unpause. That's the clarification for that, so... And I was so close to dying here that I really wanted to make sure I did not mess it up, and there you go. That's how you do Yellow Devil with the glitch. I think I've done him once or twice without the glitch, but he is not fun. Like, overall... Yeah, overall... about 6.
Oh.
Like, overall, I like Mega Man 1. If they fixed a couple of the glitches, it'd be fine. So that's why I do want to play Mega Man Powered Up at some point, but... As I've said, I don't really like Sony consoles, so... Like, I have a PlayStation 3, I'll probably be picking...
So why the hate for Sony?
It's not Nintendo. That's why. I'll probably pick up a PS4 eventually, because it has Bloodborne. None of the games really interested me on Sony. The only one that really interested me was the Mega Man games, and that's really about it. That's changed a little bit over the years. Like Demon Souls for PS3. That's why I bought a PS3. I bought the Ratchet. And here's where the boss rush begins. It's a little bit different than later Mega Man games. In later Mega Man games, you fight. You get sent to a corridor or a room where you can choose which of the 8 Robot Masters to fight in which order. Whereas here, you don't get to, and he killed me. You also happen to get a health refill after each boss fight in the later Mega Man games. You do not get that in these games. And when I say refill...
No, you don't.
No. When I say refill, you just get a large energy, which I think is 8 energy, which is fair. It's supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be a cakewalk, so... But yeah, this one and Mega Man 3 are considered the hardest in the series. I personally think Mega Man 8 is harder than Mega Man 3. I'll explain why when we get to that one. Like, I actually really like Mega Man 8. There is a lot of problems with Mega Man 8 aside from what I consider the difficulty, but we'll hold on to that. I'm not sure if James is laughing because he knows what I'm talking about, or...
I was laughing.
I thought you were. The Elect Beam doesn't really work against Elect Man, or Cut Man.
It was me.
Okay. Like, which makes sense. I don't know why I thought using Elect Man's weapon against Cut Man would be a good idea, considering, you know, Cut Man kills Elect Man. But I thought it was a good idea. It only does 1 damage each time. It's an awful idea. Don't. I do manage to almost kill Cut Man with it, but I don't. So don't do this idea. It's not smart. Yeah, just don't do that. It's not smart. Probably one of my dumber moments, but whatever.
That's the second time.
Yeah, killed by Cutman. Which I shouldn't be. Cutman's not that hard, but I don't know. No, that's the 3rd time technically. So the first time we fought Cutman in his level, I got killed by him 1 time too. So Cutman, aside from the Yellow Devil, probably has the highest amount of kills on me so far. There actually isn't a boss that does manage to kill me, and it's later in this level. Yeah. Like, I don't know why I had such a problem with that boss too. It's not really that hard of a boss. I never remembered having that much difficulty on him previously, but we'll get to that boss later, because I think we should see him.
This is the only, for me, the hard thing to do for when you're doing platforms like this. It's the timing of how you dodge the attack.
Yeah, and that can be very hard. Yeah, and each platformer plays differently, so you gotta learn the rules for each one. Like, I think Mega Man, for the most part, does happen to be a very beginner-friendly game. Just not the first one. And here we have Elect Man, who, as I said, he hurts a lot, but he has to hit you in order... Okay, so he does damage me once, but not even with his... Oh, wow, okay, he does damage me twice, but he never does manage to kill me. If I'm remembering correctly. We'll see. Maybe I am misremembering. So I was gonna say, he doesn't kill me, but I am about to die, and this part annoys me. We actually... I meant to jump there, obviously. There hasn't been a checkpoint yet. So we start back at the beginning of the level. Which is not very...
because you jump.
Well, that one I was like, well, I have only 1 life left, so let's go get 2 more. Because whenever you game over, you get 3 lives. I don't really like doing that, though, because I think that's... Like, it's a video game, and technically that life doesn't count, but I still think it's somewhat immoral. Because obviously suicide's a sin, so I don't actually really like doing that, and I try not to. But it's something it's something that I've had to try to stop doing, because I've done that in video games for a long time. So now it's a habit that I have to quit. So it still happens to be there a little bit. Like, as I said, it's technically not the character doing it, but I still feel, I don't like it. Also, this boss fight isn't exactly fun. Like, it's doable. If you'll remember, do you remember what Cutman's weakness happens to be?
Rock.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh,
No. Yes. So that's.
Seriously.
Yeah. Rock beats scissors. Yes. Yep. So Gutsman's weapon is a big rock, and you toss it at him. Do you see the problem why Gutsman's weapon being his weakness is not exactly a great thing at the moment? I'll give you a hint. Why? Because of the joke,
James,
or
go.
go ahead.
What?
You were saying that
you were saying
I
yep.
was saying that I noticed the issue there.
Lack of boulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Mega Man's very floaty in this game, so that's why I just died there. Just so you know. Like, he gets a little bit less floatier in the later games. He's still a little floaty, but not too bad. Like, the only reason I haven't sped this up yet is we have not gotten to the end of this level. Otherwise, I would have. I think it's this part where I do actually make it to the end of the level. Because this is probably the level that I spend the most amount of time on. And... like, I like Mega Man 1. I'll probably play it again at some point, but I don't want to play it again for a little bit after this, so. But yeah, people also suspect this is harder because this was back when Capcom was more, like, they did a little bit of NES games, but they more so happened to do arcade games. So people suspect this is back when Capcom made quarter eater machines. So that's why they suspect Mega Man 1 is a little bit harder. Oh, this is something I haven't even explained yet, because you can see at the top there is a score system. Doesn't come back after this. Score system's worthless, doesn't do anything. So that's another reason why people think that this is back when Capcom was just more used to making their quarter eater games. So it's been 30 years since Mega Man came out, and not much has changed. Capcom still likes money. Details at 10.
I think it's all about the money.
It is for a lot.
Yeah.
It is for a lot of people. I can't remember many CEOs that have taken a pay cut. The only one that I can is Keiji Inafune, before he died. So, like, Nintendo was not doing very well with the Wii U, so I think he took a fairly significant paid decrease so as to keep everybody hired still, which is a pretty cool thing, honestly.
Good thing of them to do.
Yes.
That's the best thing that I think every person.
Yeah, I don't. Did I just say Keiji Inafune? Hold on. I think I just misspoke. I think Keiji Inafune made Mega Man. I am thinking of Shigeru Iwata. Pardon me. I'm just double checking that now. Hold on. I know, no, it's not Shigeru Iwata, but it's Iwata Nintendo. What was his full name? Satoru Iwata, pardon me. And Satoru Iwata was a pretty cool guy, but yeah, he died in 2015, unfortunately, from bile duct cancer, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, he was.
Doesn't sound fun.
No, he was honestly a pretty cool guy. Yeah, so like, yeah, obviously he valued the employee, which was cool. Would have liked to have met him. Tried to make him Catholic. I'm assuming it would be really hard to get a Japanese guy to become Catholic just because of how their religion is. It's doable, obviously, but
for Japan, right?
Yeah. Like, it's doable, but unfortunately, those 2 nuclear bombs, you know, killing out most of the Catholics in Japan does not help.
Yeah, and not only that, like their culture is. Really
their culture
different.
too. Yeah.
It's just so different, and there's nothing wrong.
Yeah. Here, by the way, I'm trying to use Hyper Bomb, so it's at least has a purpose. Doesn't help. I do really like the music for Mega Man 1 as well, though. That's not something I've really touched on too much.
It's repetitive too.
Yeah, I was just, but to be fair, I can understand why it's repetitive, because Mega Man 1 came out in 1987.
NES or
NES, very early NES, 1987. So, like, not very early. When did the NES come out? Hold on.
Like 19 or 1990s. When I was 15. and this would show my age. I had a family computer.
Yeah, but you're not old enough to have any. Look, you were not 15
Yeah, I
when
never
the,
had any. Yes.
I was gonna say you were not
First
15.
console was
My first game
first
wasn't
console was.
NES.
But like my very first console was a family computer, and I remember back in those days, my grandmother would take it, and we would never ever touch it until summer break.
I believe it. 1 second, sorry. I like your. I'm not trying to interrupt. Here is the boss that also happened to give me a hard time.
Oh, okay.
What is it? Ooh, what could it be? It's copy Mega Man.
Oh,
So
it's always been like that.
It's a clone. It's a clone. Like whatever you use, he uses against you. So you have to learn how to fight yourself. I've never had that much of a problem fighting him up until this time, where he does manage to kill me. So it's like, I don't know. And at this point, I just decide, okay, you've seen the whole level. Let's do this until we. So go ahead, Kate, and tell us what you were saying.
No, I'm just saying that my grandmother used to just, because our very first console was a family computer, and my grandmother was very adamant in making us just play the console on summer break.
Which I can understand that. That's honestly very responsible. My dad tried to do that. No, like my dad tried to make it so that I originally received my Game Boy when I was in first grade, pardon me. So I received a Game Boy Pocket from my aunt. He tried to make it card trips only. I don't know how it turned into not card trips only, but it was supposed to be card trips only, and then it wasn't anymore. Like I'm assuming it's my fault. I don't know. Like I'd be surprised if it. I probably either convinced my mom or my dad. I'd assume it was my mom, but I don't remember the details, honestly. But yeah, it's like, yeah, similar situation. I was gonna say, I'm hoping, as much as I like video games, I'm hoping to do similar rules for John, just because as much as I like video games, they should not be your life. Obviously, that should be God, so, yeah.
Always.
Yes. I mean, you can still enjoy video games for people that are watching this, but...
Well, you have to enjoy it. I mean, at this generation where gaming on
gaming's
computers
pretty...
now, which is kind of sad, because I remember...
On consoles?
Without consoles, we still survive as kids, right?
Why do you... as much as I like my PC, why do you think I'm still so much for console gaming? Like, that's why I record on my Wii U and stuff, because I still really like a console.
Yeah.
And I have a PC. I have a decent PC, but I just like console.
Oh, and console's really different.
Yeah.
It's really different too. Like.
It depends on the console, Kate. I would say Xbox One and PS4 are just degraded consoles, or degraded PCs. The Nintendo Switch, on the other hand, I would say is actually a decent thing, because most of the games that come out for the PS4 or Xbox One come for PC, whereas most of the Nintendo stuff does not, so... That's also partially my, obviously that's partially my, Nintendo bias, but it does happen to be true, too, so... Like, I can't think of a single game aside from Bloodborne for... that's a PS4 exclusive that I'm interested in. As I said, I'll be... Go ahead.
I was just saying that what's this? I actually forgot what I was gonna say.
I will be picking up a PS4 at some point. They're cheap now, and I do want to play Bloodborne at some point.
No, but
honestly.
I agree in a sense that PS4 don't have that much
exclusives. It does have a lot of games.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say if PS4 didn't have Persona 5, that would be another one. But PS3 also has Persona 5, and I have a PS3, so I don't care. Because I have it for PS3 already, so it's like, oh wow, I just get it in 4K. Let me just go not care over here. So I think I finished this enemy before the end of the video. Well, obviously I do that. I'm trying to remember if okay, so I finished him, I think. And then I think I beat the next level in that time, too. Or I'm misremembering. It might just only be enough time to finish Copy Mega Man. Which,
you have like a minute and a half left.
Yeah, so that's why I'm trying to remember. The next level isn't very long, but I'm thinking I just only do Copy Mega Man. If I remember correctly, his weakness technically is what I'm using. I'm just gonna double check. I don't know if it's his weakness, but it's something that happens to be fairly easy to hit him with. So, let's see. Hyper Bomb, which I was using. Firestorm and Thunderbeam. Thunderbeam does do a fair amount of damage, but the problem is Thunderbeam also does a fair amount of damage to you. So, you know. Technically, Copy Mega Man does come back later, by the way, but he's a lot easier in his next appearance.
It's always been, what's it? The Copy Mega Man. I remember playing the Mega Man series. And I always, yeah, I remember it being used. Me facing. This is,
yeah.
Copy Mega Man.
Yeah. But I was gonna say that'll do it for this episode, I guess. So we have two levels left. The next boss isn't so bad. The one after that is a little. Like, it's not awful. I prefer it over what we just fought, but there's problems, and we'll get to why there's problems. Like, I really do like Mega Man 1, but there's obvious problems. But until then, guys, thank you for watching, and Pax Up Bonum.